Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the video of why I'm a Texas Rangers fan. Now, y'all may notice I'm not wearing any Rangers gear right now. Well, I don't own any Rangers gear. I need to get some sometime, so that way whenever I make Rangers videos I can wear them. Maybe I'll put that on my Christmas list. Maybe some Rangers and some Stars gear, because neither one of those I own. Okay, so here's the story of why I became a Texas Rangers fan, and it's actually a pretty interesting story. Now, like I've mentioned several times in the past, my daddy's from Missouri, so of course he's a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. And so after seeing that game, he wanted me to become a Chiefs fan, instead I became a Cowboys fan. He wasn't too happy about that, so he made sure that I turned into a Cardinals fan really quickly. Hang on. Okay, yeah, so first thing my daddy did was had me watch the start of the 2006 MLB season with him, and since he likes the Cardinals, I decided to like them as well. That was actually a fun year for baseball. Me and my daddy, we followed the Cardinals throughout the whole 2006 season. That was a pretty fun year, and they went on to win the World Series that year, beating the Detroit Tigers in 5 games. I was really happy the night they won the World Series. And of course, I was a Cardinals fan for a few years after that. And then we come to 2011 World Series, St. Louis Cardinals versus Texas Rangers. About 5.5 years later. Well, 5 years later, after the 2006 World Series. So, of course, the Cardinals were still my favorite baseball team back then. So I watched the Cardinals twice. They're one strike away from being eliminated. They come back. I'm like, whoa! And then Game 7, next night, Cardinals win 6-2. And I was pretty happy that the Cardinals won the World Series. But then, during that MLB off-season, after the Cardinals won the World Series, that's what really started to drive me insane and what drove me away from being a Cardinals fan. So, everyone in Missouri was just talking about it. They would never shut up about it. No one would shut up. All the bandwagon Cardinals fans were showing up. Everyone was just talking about how resilient the Cardinals were. And I was like, okay, we get it. Let's move on to next season. Try to win the 12th championship next season. But just know, everyone would shut up. They would talk about how resilient the Cardinals were. Just never shut up. Basically, make the Cardinals look like God. Look like, oh, it's a resilient story. On August 25th, Cardinals were what? They were 10.5 games out of the NL wild card, because that was back where they had only one wild card team for each league. They were 10.5 games out of the NL wild card on August 25th. Okay, first of all, there was luck that had to come with that. Yes, the Cardinals may have been a good team. They were able to come back, but they had to get lucky as well, because the Atlanta Braves started losing in September 2011. Right around the same time the Cardinals started winning, the Atlanta Braves started losing. So they needed some luck in there as well. And in that World Series against the Rangers, that comeback almost didn't happen, because Rangers outfielder Nelson Cruz, he could have recorded that catch and got the final out if he wanted to, if he just caught normal, but he decided to be all showboating about and try to catch in some circus kind of way, and he didn't. So the Cardinals kind of lucked out that Nelson Cruz decided to act a little goofy there. So basically, I was just sick and tired of no one ever shutting up about the Cardinals, and I hate the team that everyone likes. I want to like the team that everyone likes. I hate the team that everyone's jumping on the bandwagon of. And I kind of felt sorry for the Rangers, seeing their dejected faces in the dugout after Game 7. And the Cardinals, during the trophy presentation, after they won both Game 6 and 7, they were jumping around acting obnoxious. And I never once heard them say Oh, hey, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. They were a worthy opponent. They had us one out away from elimination. This was definitely our hardest series. No, as much as I hate the Miami Heat, this past year in the NBA Finals, after the Heat knocked off my Spurs, at least they said, Eric Spoelstra said, hey, credit to the San Antonio Spurs. This has been the toughest series we've ever had to play. So, the Miami Heat have more class than the St. Louis Cardinals, but the Cardinals never did none of that. So, after that, I just couldn't believe of how obnoxious the Cardinals were acting after they won the World Series. And plus, my favorite player on the Cardinals, Albert Pujols, left right around the same time. So once Albert Pujols went to the Angels, I decided to become an Angels fan. So I root for the Angels in the 2012 season. Last year, the Angels were my favorite baseball team. But then, after the 2012 season, something happened that drove me insane. Okay, so the Texas Rangers had this player, Josh Hamilton. He was actually probably the best player on the Rangers, and then he went to the Angels. Instead of sticking with his team through the hard times. So, Rangers lost in the World Series 2010-2011, and they struggled into the 2012 season. So, Josh Hamilton was tired of losing, so instead he went to the Angels. And then after that I was like, really, man, stick with your team through the hard times, and eventually, if you patiently wait your ring out, you can do it. That kind of reminded me of how LeBron James betrayed the Cleveland Cavaliers and went to the Miami Heat in 2010. He betrayed a city that loved him. And Josh Hamilton, he betrayed the Texas Rangers by going to the Angels because he thought that would give him a good chance down there. And I hate players who do that. More to come on that in later videos. But yeah, after that I decided the Rangers have had rough innings 3 years in a row. Maybe I'll go support them, since after all they're from Texas. So I've been a Rangers fan this year, and we are currently a half game out from the Cleveland Indians in the wild card. But I'm fairly confident we get an AL wildcard spot back, because our remaining opponents are the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Angels. And I should never underestimate an opponent, but I ain't too worried about those teams, honestly, because Astros are the worst team in baseball. I'm sorry, Astros fans, but y'all have the worst record. Yeah. Anyways, this is why I'm a Texas Rangers fan, coming up here shortly. Why I am a fan of the San Antonio Spurs. Alright, so see y'all later.